darling, will you please calm yourself?
Calm myself?
You've got yourself in such a stew. You're going to be a nervous wreck before you even get near that stage at the dealers' meeting tomorrow.
I know, Heather, but I've never done this before, and I'm scared to death I'll make an awful fool of myself in front of all those retail men.
Oh, honey.
Look, this new PHILCO line is terrific, and I just hate to muff it.
Now, honey, imagine how nervous Mr. Nails, your boss, probably was the first time he spoke to a group.
Old man Nails. Listen, that guy's got ice water for blood. He's going to be sitting there watching me with what amounts to the evil eye. Something terrible is going to happen.
Crisis in the clan, McTavish?
You bet it's a crisis.
Oh, Mac, honey, now listen to me. For years you've been telling me this old legend about the McTavish clan, that when things were really bad, when you were in hot water up to your ears, old Tavish McTavish came down out of the past to help out the clan. Well, why don't you pretend that old McTavish is there with you tomorrow helping you out?
What would old Tavish know about refrigerators? Now, wait a minute. That's not a bad idea at that. You know, just thinking about old Tavish seems to help. And it all ties in, too. Because this new PHILCO line of refrigerators would appeal to anyone with Scotch blood. Especially old Tavish. They used to say that no one ever got so much for his money. Well, old boy, I'll do my best for the tartan. I can't help wishing you'll be with me there tomorrow. I can't help wishing.
Okay, fellas, let's go. Take your seats. We've got a good program. A story on PHILCO refrigerators. You all know Mac McTavish over here. This morning he's got a presentation he wants to give us. A story we all want to get. Because PHILCO's a big seller with us. A line that's brought us a lot of success. Some manufacturers are trying to push off on the public cheap boxes.
You can count on me.
That only runs a good business into the gutter. That's not the kind of leadership we've ever gotten nor will ever get from PHILCO. PHILCO keeps profits in the business and brings the consumer first, all the improvements in the industry. Okay, Mac, come up here and tell them about PHILCO refrigerators.
Gentlemen, I'm very proud of this chance to talk to you this morning. When you've seen this new PHILCO line, you'll agree with me that anyone would be proud of the opportunity to talk about it. Because these new PHILCO refrigerators incorporate all of the things that have made PHILCO the leader in the industry. They contain outstanding advances exclusive with PHILCO. And they embrace the kind of PHILCO quality that is famous the world over. And their beauty is the kind that creates a great pride of ownership. Now, last year, by retail salesmen such as yourselves, more PHILCO refrigerators were sold than any other make refrigerator. Now, this shows the truly great acceptance on the part of the buying public for PHILCO and reaffirms the fact that PHILCO is the leader in the industry. And today, PHILCO gives you more for your money than ever before. In this new line, PHILCO has solved the problems of excess moisture. Every model has the right kind of cold. Not the damp, wet cold that causes other refrigerators to sweat and drip water all over the food. PHILCO has the kind of cold that prevents excess moisture in every season and climate. Just compare these refrigerators with other wet cold makes that should be sold with a mop as an accessory. The insulation in these new PHILCO refrigerators is the latest development. It's a highly efficient new type glass fiber. Now let me show you an example of how this fiber is used. Here you can see how it interlocks at the corners to keep in the cold and keep out the heat. With this new treatment of insulation, there's never a chance of any warm air seeping into your refrigerator because, you see, this interlocking keeps the insulation from slipping or sagging. Now, remember this. Every model is completely new in construction and based on new principles of design. The kind of design that made Philco the fastest-selling refrigerator in 1949. And now for the models. Mr. Nails has provided me with a lovely demonstrator. His secretary. I trust it's okay with you fellas. Now, this is the first model, a 702. The greatest refrigerator for the money ever offered to the public. Its gleaming exterior carries on the Philco tradition of superior design. It's a big 7 cubic feet, 7.5 to be exact, yet taking the floor space of a little 4-foot model. At its low, very low price, it's the kind of advertising leader that'll have crowds pouring into your stores ready to be sold. Now notice that door latch. It's the self-lock latch that lets you close the door with a gentle swing. Just a single one of the many exclusive Philco features that have proven so acceptable to the public. But let's look inside this Philco 702, because inside's the big story. Look at that interior. Large and spacious, with a Philco horizontal evaporator for the first time in a refrigerator that sells for under $200. But before we get to that, let's look at a brand new addition to all 1950 Philco refrigerators. A 5-speed cold control, designed for every climate in the world. 2 new speeds have been added. So now, no matter where you live or what season of the year, your Philco refrigerator will give you the perfect temperature for food preservation. Here's another plus feature. Just a moment ago, I said this model contained a horizontal evaporator, something which makes it at its size and price unique in its class. Our Philco's horizontal evaporator influenced the design of the whole industry and made the U-type evaporator as much a thing of the past as the Model T Ford. No other manufacturer gives you features like this, more for your money than ever before.
Aye, that's it. Yon's a bonny, bonny buy.
However, this is not a freezer locker and should not be sold as such. It has been designed to provide generous space for the short storage of frozen foods. The ideal spot for frozen salads, jello, and desserts like that. A place to quick chill beverages or store an extra supply of ice cubes. It contains 2 ice trays and has a storage capacity of 28 pounds of food. On the bottom of the evaporator is another new Philco exclusive feature. A specially developed defrost indicator that tells you at a glance just when your Philco needs defrosting. Below the evaporator is another Philco first. It's a combination meat pan, crisper, and defroster. Those are its principal functions. However, housewives all over America are going to find hundreds of other practical uses for it. It can be turned into a convenient defrost receptacle, because by moving the top it becomes a full-width pan. Or, in the twinkling of an eye, the top goes back on and it can be conveniently placed at the bottom of the refrigerator where it works for you again as a super crisper. The gleaming shelves are made of sturdy steel wire, hot tin dipped for long, hard wear. They are sag-proof, corrosion and stain resisting. Besides all of these high-quality features, this compact Model 702 has another outstanding Philco value that you never see or hear, the superb Philco sealed power unit. The next model begins a logical progression of merchandising step-ups, Philco selling step-ups. In every price bracket, there are sound reasons for the consumer to pay you a little bit more for a lot more features. The new 703 illustrates how easy this sell-up can be. But let's see what you get for your money. First, the easy-to-use self-lock latch. Notice the gasket around the door. Before these gaskets are approved, they are tested and retested. In 5 minutes in an ozone chamber, they are subjected to a test that simulates 5 years of use. Next, the new efficient 5-speed cold control. Below this, a real honest-to-goodness horizontal freezer locker, pioneered and perfected by Philco and copied by everyone. Proof positive of Philco's real leadership in the industry. It's a real freezer unit built right into your refrigerator, a true zero zone. There is room for 28 pounds of frozen foods. That's a lot of food, and it's a good selling point at a refrigerator at this low price.
Victuals enough for a whole clan.
The door of this locker is fully insulated. another expensive feature in such a low-priced model. Beneath this is another great selling feature, another PHILCO exclusive feature. The PHILCO Quick Chiller, bringing new services to the consumer. A perfect spot to keep meats, but also a horizontal tray designed for many other things. Things that need extra cold at temperatures that range below freezing. Here is the ideal spot to quick chill soups and salads, desserts, and juices. And don't forget that other new PHILCO service, the defrost indicator that takes the guesswork out of defrosting. The shelves are full width with one special shelf designed to take care of tall ginger ale and milk bottles. At the bottom is a single crisper, glass covered to keep vegetables and fruits fresh and crisp. The 703 is a big 7.5 cubic foot refrigerator, yet taking up the floor space of a little 4-foot model. Another terrific PHILCO value. Now the next model, the 704 in the sensational new PHILCO line, is another example of PHILCO's progressive sell-up, step-up method, with plus features and plus values, with much, much more for just a little more money. Inside, you see the 5-speed cold control. Next, a huge horizontal freezer locker that holds 28 pounds of frozen foods and has 4 convenient easy-out ice trays with a capacity of 56 big ice cubes. That's 7.5 pounds of ice. You never have to worry about running out of ice cubes because a PHILCO freezes more for you faster than any other make refrigerator. On the bottom of your freezer locker, again, there's the defrost indicator. The shelves on the 704 and every other PHILCO you're going to see are another example of PHILCO's all-out effort for quality. Now listen to this. First they're dipped in molten tin, then plated with copper. Next they're plated with nickel and finally finished with gleaming chrome. 4 protective coats that make them far superior to the stainless steel shelving used in many other makes of refrigerators. Now notice too that every shelf is adjustable so that you can move them to suit your convenience. Here's a glass shelf that covers the newest of PHILCO features for 1950. A combination full-width crisper and storage drawer. And another PHILCO quality detail, plastic slides for smoother operation. In addition, you have the famous PHILCO machine unit, sturdily built to give you years of highly satisfactory, efficient, quiet service. Maybe you've never taken the time to inspect one of these units before, and I'd just like to take a moment to show it to you. Every piece of moving mechanism in this motor unit is entirely suspended within the shell. Every moving part is spaced away from the shell, which accounts for this motor's reputation of quietness. You'll find it much quieter than any other competitive design. But let's go on. Let's step up once more. This time a step up in size to the new PHILCO 904. Here we go again, offering you more for your money. The 904 is a big 9.7 cubic feet, over 2 cubic feet larger than the 704. Now let's look at the features. Huge horizontal freezer locker with insulator door. 4 easy-out ice trays holding 56 cubes. Space for 38 pounds of frozen food. 5-speed cold control, the convenient quick chiller, full-width chrome-finished adjustable shelves, full-width glass-covered sliding crisper with new plastic slides. The famous PHILCO sealed power unit. Feature after feature after feature. This model is the hottest value the industry has ever seen. Almost a 10 cubic foot refrigerator in the floor space of an 8. Almost a 10 cubic foot refrigerator for the price of an 8.
Aye, these refrigerators are for thrifty persons.
The next model, the 906, believe it or not, offers even more features, more and more for your money. It's super deluxe, true PHILCO advanced design. Now here's another example of just a little thing that shows how PHILCO engineers think of every detail. See that proud name gleaming on the door? Notice the lettering. The edges of those letters are beveled, so there's no chance there of collecting dust. It's a long door model, refrigerated all the way to the floor, cold from top to bottom. It's a long door model that sits on its base and not on its door. You can open this door without hitting your foot. Inside is an even bigger freezer locker that holds 4 famous PHILCO easy-out ice trays off by themselves on a separate shelf and has a huge capacity for frozen foods. But wait, look at this sensational PHILCO development. A great stride forward in the progress of refrigeration. A combination meat storage compartment, quick chiller, and defroster made of clear plastic so that you can see at a glance what's inside. The meat storage compartment is sealed off from the chiller so that not only meat, but desserts and things like that can be kept in the deep colds. The 906 is another highly important PHILCO exclusive feature. Adjustable shelves with a famous center post design that enables the consumer to rearrange these shelves in thousands of ways. Here's a feature that PHILCO introduced to refrigeration which immediately became the sensation of the industry. It makes PHILCO the first and only refrigerator that's completely flexible from top to bottom. It's really a revolutionary refrigerator convenience, and only PHILCO has it. Here's an immense, full-width, glass-covered freshener drawer that'll hold vegetables of every description and size. This model 906 will undoubtedly be the industry's fastest-selling refrigerator in 1950. It has everything: quality, size, features, and at the right price. Now, when we go on to the next model, we just don't step up once. This time we take the stairs two at a time, because now we get into a giant of a refrigerator. A huge 11.2 cubic feet. A long door model refrigerated all the way to the floor. And again, the consumer is paying only half as much for each additional cubic foot in this, the 1103, as for each cubic foot in the previous model. Inside, once more, you see a big freezer locker with 4 easy outs on their own separate shelf with additional space for extra frozen foods. There's the new, soon-to-be famous combination quick chiller, meat storage compartment, and defroster made of sparkling clear plastic. It's so convenient. The 1103 has 18 square feet of shelf area. Again, there's the added feature of the famous PHILCO exclusive center post design for easy adjustability of the shelves. At the bottom is a huge freshener, the perfect spot for heads of lettuce, long stalks of celery, cabbages, and things like that. And next to it is an old PHILCO friend, a very convenient snack box, a feature housewives all over this country have found so many uses for, such as storing butter or cheese, sandwiches, or snacks. Every feature incorporated in the PHILCO 1103 for 1950 is there for a purpose: to make it the most highly saleable refrigerator in the entire industry. The next model in the PHILCO 1950 line is the 1104, which is very much like the 1103 except for one important difference that makes it continue the upward climb on this PHILCO stairway to increased profits, increased values, and increased quality. The big plus, the big feature of this refrigerator is its freezer locker. Its giant freezer locker. Actually a built-in home freezer with a capacity for 70 pounds of frozen foods. Now, some manufacturers are putting out a refrigerator with a double door. One door for the frozen food compartment and one door for the regular food storage space. The advantages of this double door are doubtful. It's a needless waste of expensive material and a needless expense that's passed on to the consumer. In a PHILCO, the frozen food locker, a true zero-zone home freezer, is built right into the refrigerator, conveniently, efficiently, and economically behind a single door. Now, this model is going to open up an entirely new market for the sale of PHILCO refrigerators because it's expressly made for smaller families that want the best and who have a definite need for a freezer in their home. And this is the flagship of the line, the 1107, combining every feature you've seen so far, but with, again, another big plus. The conservator gives the consumer 25% more usable space. It gives the consumer conveniences that can't be found in any other refrigerator. And it is made of that astonishing, unbreakable Herculite plate that will last a lifetime. This is a colossal value, an outstanding refrigerator in every respect. Now, there, gentlemen, you've seen 8 new PHILCO models, comprising the greatest line the industry has ever known, the most compact line in refrigerator history. Each one contains features that make it the kind of refrigerator that everyone has dreamed of someday owning. Each one is a bestseller in its field, with more for the money at every price. Your record of sales of PHILCO refrigerators in the past will be a stepping stone to even greater achievement, made possible by this powerful new line, today, tomorrow, and in the future. There's still a vast market for the sale of new refrigerators. The surface of this market has only been scratched. Ahead of you is a challenge and an opportunity to take advantage of the greatest selling season the appliance industry has ever known. We at PHILCO feel sure that with this, the hottest line the industry has ever seen, the opportunity will belong to you alone. Thank you.
designed for the thrifty